Hello everyone, and welcome to A Teacher Explains.
I'm a teacher, and in this video, I'm going to explain the critical cultural trend in mass communication theory. Early media research relied on the stimulus-response model. This approach functions like a person yelling through a megaphone, treating communication as a one-way street where media fires information directly at the public. This photograph of a crowd in a dark theater illustrates how early scholars viewed the public. They assumed viewers were passive recipients, blindly absorbing and reacting to the megaphone's instructions. During the 1950s and 1960s, researchers began to realize that human behavior was too complex for simple stimulus-response measurements. They observed that people did not just react, they interpreted and used media based on their own lives. This realization introduced a new framework. Instead of measuring what media does to people, scholars began asking how media shapes the shared cultural world we live in. Recognizing the complexity of human interpretation changed the goals of media research. Scholars began looking past isolated individual reactions to analyze the broad, shared meanings that define our culture. The critical cultural approach views media as an active environment, an enclosed room where communication flows in multiple directions. This model has two pillars. The cultural pillar focuses on everyday meaning-making inside. The critical pillar examines the outer walls, the power structures defining the room's shape. We look to the walls of the room by examining the industries that produce media. The scale of this historical printing press represents the economic base. European scholars argued elites maintain power by controlling these massive industries. This perspective is rooted in the work of Karl Marx. He argued that the elites who own the industries also control the superstructure, the institutions like schools and media that shape our values. By spreading a specific ideology, they create a false consciousness where people support a system that exploits them. The Frankfurt School expanded on this by describing mass media as a culture industry. Here, media companies turn culture into standardized commodities that encourage passivity and limit critical thinking. Whoever owns the industries and architecture of the media room holds the power to normalize their own specific values as universal truths. These power dynamics also appear in how gender is represented. Critical feminist scholarship examines how media structures reinforce inequality through the way people are portrayed on screen. This magazine cover demonstrates what scholar Laura Mulvey called the male gaze. It illustrates how media often positions women as objects for visual pleasure, reflecting a deeper cultural norm of gender inequality. British cultural studies shifted the focus from these dominant structures to the everyday people living inside the room, asking if they are truly trapped. Scholar Stuart Hall argued media texts are polysemic, open to many interpretations. Audiences use their unique identities to negotiate, reinterpret, or resist these messages. This makes culture a constant struggle over meaning. Audiences act as active participants in the room. Through their own lived experiences, they constantly reshape and challenge the culture they live in. Power also resides in the physical technology we use to communicate. Harold Innis observed that the form of media has a bias. For example, written media often centralizes control, while oral communication tends to support a more distributed form of authority. Marshall McLuhan summarized this by stating, "The medium is the message." He argued that the physical form of technology, like a printed book or the electronic global village, transforms how we perceive the world, regardless of the specific content we are consuming. James Carey provided a final framework to connect these ideas of industry, technology, and audience interpretation. This image of a family around a television illustrates Carey's ritual view of communication. Instead of just sending information for the purpose of control, the ritual view sees communication as a shared symbolic process that maintains a community's culture. The critical cultural trend transformed theory by moving from the study of isolated effects to the study of meaning and power. It treats audiences as active interpreters and recognizes media as a powerful ideological force. Communication serves as the cultural process through which society constructs its shared reality. These are the academic references used for this video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.